Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part two of Beyond the Headlines special in remembrance of MH17 Dozen Persons Reunited. My name is Amalina Kamal.
And I am Ilya Marsha Iskandar. In the first half, we heard first-hand accounts of Malaysia's pursuit for justice following the downing of Malaysia Airlines flight MH17 in eastern Ukraine. 12 experts undertook a covert mission to recover the remains of MH17 victims and crucial evidence, including the black boxes.
Known as the Dozen Persons, they navigated a war zone unarmed to confront the leader of the Ukrainian separatists. Today, we have the team here with us in the studio. Welcome back again, gentlemen. Right. Now, Colonel Sakri, I want to draw the floor to you. What was your first impression when you arrived at the separatist headquarters and you actually, come face to face with Alexander Borodai, the man himself?
Well, I would like to draw back the situations at the beginning when we was first arrived in Kiev, when we was received by the ambassador of the Ukraine, Ambassador Malaysia to Ukraine. The things that he mentioned was this country is in the conflicts of the war. So he did mention about the any things that with regard to the movement of our groups as a whole would not be accommodated by them if there is no approval from them. This is another difficulties that we are going to face. Okay? When we first arrived in the Donetsk, and I first met with Mr. Borodai, what he says, why are you late? Why are you late? I said, well, we have problems along the way, the journey from the Kharkiv to the Donetsk. We are having the problem within the Ukraine government, not with you. Mm-hmm. When we arrive at your place, you are welcome us, very much welcome. And we feel that we are safe already when we arrive in the Donetsk. So that
was that part of the, I suppose, PR negotiation, the start of the PR negotiation, or was that sincerely how you felt? You felt safe amongst the separatists?
Well, the first impression for me before entering Donetsk, I feel that a lot of questionnaires that come into my mind, which is it's going to be a very difficult. It's going to be a very tense situation. What more that when we was stopped by the Ukraine government and taking all our passport and try to check everything, and luckily that we did not bring anything. But when we arrived there, we feel a totally difference of the situation. We feel we are quite safe.
Okay. Mr. Rosley, I want to go to you, but before that, just to give a little bit picture. So when you, when all you gentlemen actually arrive at the separatist headquarters, they brought you to a holding room, right? A big holding room, and then they called on Colonel Sakri first, and then Major Zainizam, and then the rest of you remained in the room. So for you, your question would be like, while Colonel Sakri and Major Zainizam were taken away from the group, what were you guys doing?
Actually, we are very hungry because it's fasting month. But we managed to see the situation, and it was guarded by the separatists while we are in the conference room. And the face of the separatists is not friendly at all. Yes, Borodai welcomed us why we are late, but they did offer us water, but we said we are fasting. No, they offer us food, but we said we are fasting. Okay, what about drink? So, no, we cannot eat and drink. So, okay, they don't understand us. Okay, fine. So, we was being guarded by the separatists in the conference room while Colonel Sakri and Dr. Zanizam in Borodai rooms negotiating the black box, and we cannot go anywhere. At last, I tried to get a permission to go to the toilet. I need to use the toilet. And he followed me at the back. until inside the toilet. I said, please, I need to use the toilet privately. Okay, fine. Then he moved out, wait, and stand at the door. I said, oh my God. People was looking me, using the toilet. He was looking at me. Then after that, done everything, I was glance out from the window. I saw a firework. It's everywhere in Donetsk. Wow, this is something ceremony or what? I don't know. So when I back to the conference room, I just asked that separatist, what is that firework for? They said, no, you are wrong. That is a bombing around the Donetsk. For the civilian, when you see bombing around you, it was terrifying. And I was no more toilet from that time onward. I would rather stay there. And I managed to make things happy by taking photo with I started to take photo with the separatists. From that time itself, the separatists make us as a friend. That's why our tension towards the separatists is, because they make us as a friend. Basically, we fill up our moment in the conference room big by solat, and do some other talking, while waiting Colonel Shakri and Major Zainizam inside the conference room.
What about you, Sergeant Rusli? What were you doing then while you were waiting for over 2 hours?
Macam kan Tuan Rosli kata, kalau kita tengok dekat cermin tu, kita akan nampak percikan api-api dekat bangunan-bangunan lain tu. Kita yang duduk di dalam bangunan tu pun kita terasa dia punya gegaran dia tu. Lepas tu dia punya army dia tu cakap, you see, Ukraine serang dia kata. You see dia kata, aduh, bangunan dia kata apa terbakar. Kita nampak dengan mata kita tu dengan asap berapa-apa kan. Bila bunyi letupan tu kita rasa bangunan kita duduk tinggi tu rasa bergegar. Jadi lepas tu kita bila dalam tegang tu kita pun kena relax lah. Kita relax, kita sembang, pakat-pakat sembang bahasa kita lah. Sebab nak sembang dengan depa punya askar memang tak boleh lah. Sembang sesama kami 12 orang, bincang biasa-biasa lah. Lepas tu bila presiden dia datang tu, presiden dia masuk tu dengan dia punya escort dia punya Alexander Borodai tu, dia orang bersenjata. Dia orang bersenjata masuk dengan agresif lah. Sebab kita nak runding, bila dia bawa dia punya bakal punya penenteri dia tu, jadi dia punya agresif, dia punya escort dia tu, kita jadi lagi tegang. Kita duduk dalam tu lagi tegang sebab kita tak ada apa. Dia orang bersenjata, duduk pegang senjata, pistol apa semua tu. Yang saya perasan, Alexander Borodai ni dia ada bagi orders kepada dia punya escort dia tu, suruh holdkan keadaan tu. Dia suruh holdkan dia punya keadaan tu, macam dengan pistol tu buat turun, sembang macam biasa. Dia punya bodyguard dia pun dah beralih ke belakang sikit. Jadi suasana tu jadi soft lah. Kalau tidak kita pun tegang. Saya sebagai seorang komando ketika itu, saya cuma dalam fikiran saya cuma perhati dia punya persenjataan yang digunakan oleh pihak dia punya Alexander Borodai tu, senjata apa, kemampuan dia. Bagi saya sebagai seorang komando ni, kalau in case apa berlaku, kata kami ditembak mati ke dalam tu, dalam hati saya ni saya cuma cakap, kalau aku mati dalam bangunan ni, dibunuh oleh apa ni, aku nak bunuh juga seorang. Biar dunia ni tahu, okey, perunding Malaysia ni 12 perunding Malaysia telah ditembak mati, 2 orang escort Borodai pun mati juga. Jadi kita fair.
Thank you so much for that particular sharing and that war cry, the motivation behind the war cry. I want to turn the attention to Major Dr. Zainizam. Doctor, you, as I mentioned earlier, you were taken away from the group, but you didn't immediately go to the room where Colonel Sakri and Borodai was. You were taken to another holding room with other separatists there, but they kind of put you there and didn't attend to you until you spoke a bit of Russian. Maybe from there, can you share with our audience how your language skills actually helped you to understand the separatists better and going into the negotiations later with Borodai?
So I was separated from the dozen people in the conference room. That time, I'm not sure where they will bring me. there's one person in front of me, another person behind me with AK-47. And then immediately after I left the conference room, so they inspected my light bag. There's nothing there, just a mobile phone, but switch off. So they integrated and then they inspect me upside down, back and front. And then they asked me to follow them towards the stairs, lift, until I don't know where am I in the headquarters building. So when I seated in the war room where there's a lot of maps, there's a lot of discussion, communication among them. Okay, and then I heard like there's a active war here and there. So immediately when one person came to me, I think that is the second person of Mr. Borodai. I said to him, Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте means how we say hello.
Здравствуйте.
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 And then suddenly from a very noisy room, it become quiet. Because it's very rare for them to see a foreigners that can speak Russian and suddenly in the middle of war, suddenly appear like that. So then they start to, I think, they carefully like whispering. Immediately after that, the Mr. Borodai, second in command, and others talk to me, and then they asking me how you know this Russian. And then I told them that I've been in Ukraine for 7 years. They tried to bring me one, I think one report from them. They asked me to read the report. So I read thoroughly from the beginning until the end. So the conclusion from the person who instruct me to read that, he said to all of the separatist forces, he knows Russian very well. So again, there's a lot of question mark among them. Who are this guy?
Right.
Okay, so that moment I think I make a good rapport with them. So easy to understand them. And I also can analyze anything if there's a risk at the headquarters, seeing all the bombardment. But one thing very important, the second person to Mr. Borodai told me, when we enter the next, our movement been detected by the Ukrainian forces. They demanded our immediate departure out from the next or threatened to intensify the attack.
Right.
Yes.
I see.
So after that moment, they brought me to Colonel Sakri in another room where
Borodai.
I have to follow them. And then again, being inspected, interrogated a little bit. And then I met Colonel Sakri in the room with the separatist team leader, Mr. Borodai. And I told Colonel Sakri immediately, because this is a threat.
Okay. And then when you engage with Mr. Borodai, were the negotiations made hard because he was a very demanding individual?
So the way he represent himself, so very friendly. So when I enter the room, looking at Colonel Sakri and Mr. Borodai, I don't see any tense situation. Mr. Borodai is not demanding. He's try to listen to what are our requests and try to fulfill it.
But at the back of your mind, he's still like a warlord of sorts, right? Like you still had your guards up in that sense.
Yes, of course. And in that room, actually, we are in the Ukrainian soil. But in the office, you can see on the back of the wall, on top of the wall, there is a Vladimir Putin picture. And then I saw he put his Glock, which is a pistol, on the table. And while he's, every time there is a phone call, I think once or twice, he received a call from Mr. Vladimir Putin to report on our arrival. And while talking, he played with his finger the bullets on the table.
With you and Colonel Sakri there.
Yes, on the
Right.
table. But me and Colonel Sakri, we control the situation. We not panic.
Right.
Yes.
But how did you? Oh, sorry. Last question before we go to you. How did you associate the call was from Vladimir Putin?
So basically, first you can differentiate. Okay, when they talk among them, from the separatist forces, you know how the tone would be. So whenever the president call, I mean, he said, Mr. President. So there is no other president then. I don't think he received a call from president of Ukraine. So definitely from president of Russia. So I mean that time when he talked, reported about us, our arrival, I mean I can differentiate and I know that he reporting to Vladimir Putin.
Right. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing. After the negotiations, since they are already very close to the crash site, the team, I believe, had attempted to go to the crash site. Maybe Tuan Sharizal, you can share a bit. Did you actually go to the crash site?
Okay, selepas kena Sakri negotiate, kita satu tim telah bergerak ke crash site, diiringi oleh tentera pro Rusia. Dalam perjalanan tu tiba-tiba dia hentikan kenderaan. Waktu kita dah separuh perjalanan, dia hentikan kenderaan. Lepas tu dia datang ke kenderaan kami yang kat belakang ni. Dia bagi tahu kena Sakri, kata ada fighter daripada Ukraine telah masuk ke kawasan crash site tersebut. Jadi bila bincang balik, kita satu tim semua patah balik ke Donetsk disebabkan risiko kan kalau kita masuk juga ke kawasan crash site pada waktu tersebut lah. Sebab kawasan waktu tu kita sewaktu kita pergi ke sana pun kita boleh tengok kesan-kesan pertempuran dan dengan kereta tank yang telah kena letup macam-macam kan. Jadi kawasan yang kita lalui itu cuma tentera-tentera pro Rusia yang lalu lalang kawasan itu, yang sambil bawa dengan senjata dengan persenjataan berat yang lain lah. Itu saja.
Thank you very much for sharing. The team was later brought back to a hotel to rest and break their fast while awaiting the handing over ceremony of the victims and the black boxes. So before handing over the black boxes, however, the separatists had attempted to test the capabilities of our officers. So Colonel Mustafa, maybe you can share with us your role in receiving and verifying the black boxes.
As Colonel Shakri mentioned before, he get involved Pascal in the team. After I justified to him what are our capability, Pascal capability, I did mention to him that we are able to conduct special recognition, able to conduct close escort, and me myself as a aircraft engineer background, I have a knowledge on technical on aircraft. And back to your question, before the handing over ceremony of the black box, the separatist person did mention to us that they had found the important evidence of the MH17 that they need us to verify either this evidence belong to MH17 or not. And they said there is an orange box that they found in the crash site. In our team, there is no any MAS representative to verify that's belong to MAS or not. But I whisper to Colonel Shakri that I know how to ensure this is belong to MH17 or not. Then I strictly make a phone call to my classmate in college. He is a mass engineer. I make a phone call and ask him to assist us to get the information of the MH17 aircraft black box serial number. And he managed to get it, and he passed to me the black box identification and the serial number. And they test me, like where the location of the black box in the aircraft. He drawing the aircraft drawing. He asked me where the position of the black box. I pointing to this. We have in the aircraft we have two black box. One is data recorder and one is the voice cockpit recorder. And the position I mentioned. Then he confidence with my answer, and he shows to me the pictures of the black box at the identification plate, and I compare with what's information I have, and I convince them this black box belong to MH17s.
After Colonel Mustafa had actually confirmed the black box actually belonged to MH17, it was later officially given to us in a press conference. Maybe Dr. Shah, can you share a bit about the press conference?
The press conference of taking over of the black boxes were held very early in the morning. I think around 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. There was many media coverage for that official handing and taking over. I was at the other end of the meeting room trying to document some photograph, and I can see discussion and signing of document between Colonel Sakri and the handing of the black boxes after inspection by Colonel Mustafa. So, and after the ceremony, we were immediately assembled for immediate sending to the coach station or rail station for our trip back to Kharkiv.
I want to ask Lieutenant Colonel Nazri, what happened after the press conference?
First of all, saya diarahkan oleh Colonel Sakri untuk join this team. Tujuan utama kenapa Colonel Sakri memasukkan saya ke dalam tim ini adalah jika sekiranya jenazah itu tidak dapat dibawa, tidak dapat dikeluarkan daripada Donetsk, jadi apa yang perlu dilakukan kepada jenazah tersebut. Itu adalah arahan pertama yang dikeluarkan oleh Colonel Sakri semasa dia berjumpa personally dengan saya. Itu yang pertama. Yang keduanya, jika sekiranya dalam keadaan kelang kabut dan sebagainya, dan kita ni dalam keadaan berpuasa, pergi ke sana dan sebagainya lagi, pastikan anggota ni dalam keadaan berpuasa, solat dan sebagainya lagi. Jadi kalau kita nampak tadi semua bercerita tentang kami puasa, kami bersolat. Jadi itu arahan daripada Colonel Sakri. Dan yang ketiganya, Colonel Sakri dalam perjalanan saya bersama dengan Colonel Sakri, dia ada terima phone call daripada somebody yang dekat daripada negara Malaysia dan menyatakan bahawa hanya perlu bawa jenazah Malaysia saja. Itu pandangan daripada pihak daripada negara kita lah. Tapi Colonel Sakri minta supaya kita bawa semua jenazah yang ada dekat Donetsk untuk mengelakkan kita dianggap sebagai selfish ataupun mementingkan negara kita saja untuk membawa jenazah tu. Jadi itulah di antara perkara momen yang saya boleh kongsi berkaitan dengan kenapa saya berada dalam tim ini. Itu satu. Kemudian yang keduanya, selepas sahaja habis semua conference yang berlaku, media dan sebagainya lagi, kami diarahkan untuk pergi ke stesen kereta api. Dalam keadaan yang waktu pagi, pukul 2-3 pagi macam tu, dah selesai semua conference dan dinyatakan bahawa semua jenazah dia sudah pun berada dalam kereta api. Jadi dalam hati saya, okey, maknanya jenazah tidak ada yang tertinggal dekat Donetsk lah. Jadi dalam keadaan begitulah kami diarahkan untuk keluar daripada bangunan and then masuk dalam kereta dan diturunkan di sebuah tempat dan kami dikehendaki lari daripada tempat kami diturunkan itu pergi ke stesen kereta api. Jadi kami lari seorang lari.
Dan lari itu
dalam keadaan yang diarahkan buat zigzag untuk mengelakkan daripada kena tembakan daripada mana-mana sniper, tak kira daripada siapa-siapa lah. Itu yang diarahkan kepada kami dan kami lari berkurang hampir 100 meter kot, lebih kurang 100 meter lah lebih kurang, untuk masuk ke dalam kereta api yang telah pun bersama dengan jenazah. Dan Colonel Sakri minta kepada saya, Ustaz, pastikan doa tu. Itu selalu yang dinyatakan kepada saya lah, diarahkan kepada saya. Alhamdulillah, misi ini berjaya dengan baik, hasil daripada kerjasama semua pihak dan hasil daripada usaha-usaha yang sama-sama kita lakukan. Itu saja.
Okay.
After that, when you reach the train, how did the team protect the black box? Maybe Tuan Syirza, you can share.
Okey, sebenarnya sebelum media conference malam tu, saya dah maklumkan dekat anggota saya lagi 2 orang, waktu penerimaan black box, kita biarkan Colonel Mustafa saja yang kat depan. Yang lain semua dekat belakang. Sebab kita nak mengelakkan apa orang kenal kita kan. Sebab bila ada media, jadi masalah takut gambar itu dah tersebar kan. Kalau jadi apa-apa, kita boleh protect black box tu. Jadi pada malam tu selepas kita terima black box yang dia isi first tu, dia letak dalam guni kan. Dan guni lepas tu waktu kita buat keluar tu kebetulan kami semua ada backpack, tactical backpack yang sama. Jadi kita kosongkan satu backpack tu, kita masukkan dua-dua black box tu masuk dalam satu backpack tu. Jadi yang bag lain tu kita isi bagi sama saiz dia dengan apa bag yang bawa black box ni. Dan jadi waktu tu kena Mustafa pun dia yang terima, tapi orang ingat dia yang bawa, tapi sedangkan dia tak galas pun black box tu. Waktu tu saya rasa Flight Sergeant Fendi yang bawa black box tu waktu tu. Waktu dalam kereta api pun sewaktu dalam kereta api kita, sebab kita dah lebih 24 jam masa tak tidur waktu tu kan. Satu yang bag yang ada black box tu kita letak bawah tempat kita duduk tu. Yang lain tu bag kita letak kat luar sambil kita gila-gila lah apa untuk jaga, untuk perhatikan black box tu. Yang lain tu boleh berehat kan, sebab kita tak tahu apa kita punya ancaman lagi lepas ni kan. Itulah. Tapi pada masa yang sama sebenarnya setiap pergerakan first daripada donate ke daripada Kiev, daripada Kiev lagi. Saya start pada keluar pada hotel tu nak bergerak ke menjalankan operasi ni. Setiap sejam sekali saya akan hantar location terkini dekat anggota yang berada di Kiev.
Right. On your part, maybe when you arrive to your destination together with Tuan Rosli, maybe you can share this. What was the feeling at the time to finally arrive and go at Kharkiv?
Alhamdulillah lah kita sampai tu Kharkiv dengan selamat. So macam Syarizal beritahu tadi, kita punya challenging tu before nak sampai ke Kharkiv malam tu dia is about the long night for us, long journey for us. Because sebelum sampai sampai ke train station tu, we ada cubaan. So macam kena Nazri cerita tadi, kita ada zigzag kan. Tapi before tu pun ada ancaman. So kita kena stop and then ada fire depan. So yang assign untuk escort kita pun dia dah lepaskan tembakan. So kita pun what happened. So dalam masa tegang tu kita berlari. And then kita enter the train, we separate lah. So itu memang cabaran lah. So alhamdulillah lah, we safely arrive in Kharkiv with tak ada orang cakap, tak ada cedera, tak ada apa. Cuma malam tu memang tak boleh nak tidur pun. So kita berdoa je. So ada yang protection, just we bring armor plate, we just wear it. So tak ada apa pun. So memang quite that night orang panggil memang cabaran lah. Tapi alhamdulillah bila dah sampai tu rasa macam lega lah.
Right.
Tapi masih blur-blur juga lah. Bila sampai kita kat mana? Why too many army? Banyak askar tiba-tiba sampai sambut kita.
When the team arrived in Kharkiv, they were actually surrounded by armies, but somehow they safely got the black box out because they placed it in Colonel Mustafa's black bag to ensure that there was no suspicion. So, Colonel Mustafa, you were guarding the black boxes. What happened next?
Initially, the separatists just hand over the bodies and black box to us and let us plan how we want to extract out from the Donetsk. I believe at that time, Dr. Dato' Ilham also with me and few guys while waiting, Colonel Sakri and Dr. Zaidizam negotiating with Mr. Borodai. We in the conference room make a plan. I'm being tasked by Colonel Sakri to get access how we want to deliver this body and black box either from MMS aircraft or from our Air Force aircraft, military aircraft. We ask from the Donetsk interpreter to assist us. First, we looking to transport it from the MAS aircraft which standby in Netherlands. We look after a nearby airport, either it's safe for the aircraft to land. And they said the nearby airport are all being bombarded. Our aircraft cannot land over there. And we request our military aircraft to come to the Donetsk. I make a call to the C-130 squadron and request their plan, if possible or not, to come to Donetsk. And the information I received, they required 22 hours and 1 night transit. So that option is ruled out. Then we try to transport the bodies by the road to nearby Russian borders. And that also not recommended by the separatist guy there. They said they cannot ensure the security when we try to transport it to the Russia border. The most secured method is through the train from the Donetsk to the Kharkiv and make transition in Kharkiv from Kharkiv to Netherlands. Okay, back to the questions. Once we arrive in Donetsk, yes, I carry the black box with me in the backpack. And I received the orders from Colonel Shakri to pass this black box to the police officer who are representative of Ministry of Transport. During that time, there is ACP Rafiq. After arrive in Kharkiv, there is a ceremony of hand over the bodies to the received parties in the Kharkiv. That consists of our Malaysia DVI and also the Ukraine and Netherlands team also. And we make move to bring the black box out from the area. Suddenly, Colonel Shakri told us that we are not allowed to move out from the areas because they want to see the black box that we receive. We said that the black box are not with us. FBI, CIA and few agencies from Ukraine approaching Colonel Shakri insist to look the black box. And Colonel Shakri instruct me to keep safe the black box. Don't expose it. I want to pass the black box to ACP Rafiq during that time, and he also reluctant to receive, and he believe not secure at that time. Then after a few moments, special force from Netherlands approached me and Colonel Shakri. He said that they know that the black box are with us, and they have the same intention to ensure these evidence are secured to bring out from here. Then finally, he managed to convince Colonel Shakri, and we make a collaboration to work with them to ensure this black box are safe. So I and the ACP Rafiq, they offered me and ACP Rafiq to get into their bulletproof vehicles, the Netherlands Special Force bulletproof vehicle, and we enter the vehicles. Once we enter the vehicle, all the Ukraine military car stop us from moving out. Very chaos happened at the outside, and we asked what are they really want. They said they really want to see the black box. It's true being received by us or just dummy from the separatists. Finally, we make a decision. We will show to them in a proper manner. Before that, we, Moscow and the Netherlands Special Force, have made a contingency plan if the other parties want to capture the black box. If anything happen, we will move out, and their aircraft, their Netherlands special aircraft being tasked to stand by at the Kharkiv airport. Then, luckily, nothing happened. When we show the black box to the agencies want to look, and few minutes later, I take back the black box and we get entered to the vehicles. Then they make us away. We move out to the Kharkiv airport. Arrive at Kharkiv airport, straight away the Netherlands special task aircraft waiting for us. I, ACP Rafiq and one of the Netherlands Special Force get in the aircraft and fly back to Kiev. Then when we arrive at the Kiev airport, there are a lot of international investigation team being appointed to receive the black box. Then I pass the black box to the team, and at that night they bring the black box to London for further investigations.
Right.
So your mission ends there. So, Tuan Shahrizal, back to you. In brief, how do you feel knowing that the black box have safely arrived in UK?
Okay, firstly syukur Alhamdulillah. Perasaan waktu tu kita tak dapat nak gambarkan kan. Sebab misi yang diberikan kepada kami semua ni berjaya dilaksanakan tanpa berlaku sebarang pertumpahan darah. Jadi harapan tu dengan black box tu dapatlah membantu untuk mendapatkan maklumat untuk keadilan semua mangsa yang terlibat.
Now that we are done with the black boxes, maybe over to you, Dr. Shah. We want to talk about the victims. How do you feel for the first time receiving the bodies of the victims, and can you share about the identification process?
Our team being tasked to perform the victim identification. To be frank with you, while the body is being transported from Donetsk in the refrigerated coach, we don't have the privilege to view the body. So the body finally, when we reach Kharkiv, it was screened by another special team, and then when we reach Kharkiv, then only we were informed that they have made a decision for the examination of the dead body to be performed in Netherlands. At the time, myself and Dato' Ilham, we were separated at the train station from the rest of our 12-member team, and after that we have no contact with them. So we were separated because we were informed that we have to follow our team to Netherlands to assist on the examination. So myself and Dato' Ilham, we were flown in the aircraft that took the remains back to Netherlands. So there were
Dr. Shah, just wanted to understand your feelings when you first processed the remains, when you first I tried to attempt to identify the remains. Yeah.
So to identify the remains, the first opportunity was when the body arrived in Netherlands.
And how did you feel at that time when
At
you
that
actually
time, okay.
you see the remains?
My feeling a bit different, a bit special in the sense that one of the victims was my schoolmate. So it was the chief steward at the time. So it was really sad, and I do get a lot of messages from our friends asking me to do the best, especially with regards to the victim, my colleague as well, the other Malaysian team. So it was really our first international deployment. So really very sad, and because we do aware of the condition of the remains, and then we have to strengthen our team in such a way that we have to do the best for the family and for the country.
Dr. Ilham, I want to go to you. Identifying the remains is one aspect, but having to, after identify it and, making sure that they were delivered to the right next of kin is another. Can you share your process on that?
Okay, our responsibility in Harrison solely in identification. Okay, there is another team who are responsible to send back the victims to their countries and their families. I have 3 trips in Netherlands. The first trip solely on postmortem, identification of unknown person. So we just carry out our investigation in this small Dewan Serbaguna, which is converted into the postmortem area. So we cannot demand more than what been supplied to us. Especially, I want to see a Malaysian We cannot do that. We just do the receive the body from any countries and do the examination. So I'm in forensic odontologist. Okay, so we are in the last part of the role. Okay, before quality assurance by Netherlands. So we do the best and professional methods as soon as the body received by us.
And then to ensure that the remains were correctly handed over to their loved ones, what were some of the elements that you looked out for, at least?
Okay, we just examine whatever on the tray and correct as much as possible information without missing anything. Rechecked by another teams to make sure that we do the correct thing.
Speaking about, loved ones and everything, we do have a special message from one of the next of kin.
If you could say something to the team right now, what sort of message would you send across?
Oh my God, I can't put it into words, but it's just like just this gratitude with them not knowing how much they are able to give closure to the family, because we can't do it ourselves. You can't even go to that place even if you wanted to. It's a no man's land, even though I'm pretty sure all of us just have this feel that, oh my God, we just want to get a flight ticket and just go there, but we can't. I can't be there. I can't look for my husband. So, it's like your close family member died. You cannot even have a piece of that person. You could not. Like other people, they die at a hospital or at a home, you can go home and rush. This one, you can't. But you have a bunch of people who's working on that. And to me, they represent something that I can't do. Because it's also hard for them. It's a no man's land. They have to get a ceasefire. And having people to concede into wanting to do that for us, even though they had no relation whatsoever to the people and the crash, it's remarkable to see their commitment. I'm just absolutely thankful and grateful.
Right, that was a special message to the team from Sharifah Ismail Junaid. Of course, it's a little bit somber under this particular context. But Tuan Nazri, I want to ask, you were involved in the process of preparing the Muslim remains for burial, right? Could you describe us what went through your mind while you were, making preparations for the burial?
Thank you very much for this question. Selepas selesai misi kami dekat Ukraine, saya diarahkan oleh pihak pengurusan tertinggi ATM untuk pergi ke Netherlands, ke Belanda, dan setelah body telah pun dikenal pasti siapa orangnya, dilakukan oleh pihak DVI team dekat Handover. Semua jenazah ni akan dihantar ke Amsterdam. Di Amsterdam. Jadi mana jenazah Malaysia, kamilah yang akan uruskan. Tim kami yang uruskan, dan kebetulan saya bersama dengan tim daripada JAKIM, Jabatan Kemajuan Islam Malaysia. Dan bagi kami, sebelum kami menerima body-body yang untuk kami uruskan, khususnya jenazah Muslim, kami buat preparation dengan kerjasama Kedutaan Malaysia dekat Belanda. Kedutaan Malaysia dekat Belanda, dan kami pergi berjumpa dengan duta pada waktu tersebut, Datuk Fauziah kalau tidak salah saya, dan kami buat kunjungan hormat dan seterusnya melakukan pelbagai aktiviti untuk membuat persiapan bagi menerima jenazah-jenazah yang akan dikeluarkan setelah dikenal pasti identitinya daripada Handover. Jadi tanggungjawab kami buat persiapan untuk melaksanakan contoh macam bagaimana nak memandikan, bagaimana nak mengkafankan, dan kita tahu bahawa keadaan jenazah itu mungkin akan diterima dengan pelbagai kemungkinan. Dengan sebab itulah kami buat preparation dengan begitu teliti agar semua jenazah yang kami terima ni kami dapat uruskan dengan baik. Itu pertama. Yang keduanya, alhamdulillah kami dapat kerjasama daripada masyarakat Muslim di sekitar Amsterdam untuk bersama-sama dengan kami untuk menyolatkan jenazah yang Muslim lah. Setelah kita selesaikan, kita mandikan dan kafankan. Dan untuk memandikan dan mengkafankan tu, kami ada orang tertentu saja, tidak semua terlibat. Dan kita pasti daripada JAKIM itu sendiri, and then selepas itu barulah kita buat solat, dan pada masa inilah kita involvekan, minta siapa-siapa di kalangan masyarakat Muslim dekat Amsterdam untuk bersama dengan kami.
Right.
Itu.
Bagaimana pula, how about the remains of non-Muslims? How was that managed?
Okey. Untuk non-Muslim pula, kami terima jenazah juga yang non-Muslim. And then kami manage, kebetulan pada masa tu kita bekerjasama dengan MAS. Jadi MAS menghantar so-called macam dia punya sami, kalau misal Buddha, ataupun padri jika sekian Kristian, untuk menguruskan jenazah mereka. Dan kamilah yang assist kat mana nak laksanakan pengurusan jenazah tersebut dan di mana perkuburan tu nanti, kalau mereka nak dikuburkan kat situ. Tapi saya dinyatakan oleh pihak MAS, kita bawa semua jenazah ke Malaysia, Muslim ataupun non-Muslim.
Right.
Itulah tanggungjawab yang kami laksanakan di sana.
Dr. Ilham, I want to go to you. How do you feel after being able to, just give some sort of closure to the next of kin with the efforts that you've conducted on your mission?
The ultimate result that we expect from identification is to know the unknown person, so that the future process, including marriage of the husband or wife, women husband and wife, and so forth, can be continued. So we do as best as possible to make sure that the result is expected.
So we want to go quickly to Tuan Mustafa in terms of the top lessons that can be learned throughout this all.
We, Malaysia, is a small state country. The incident happens 1,000 miles away from our country. And that's the ground of superpower game. Even we are a small country, we are capable enough to conduct negotiations, to conduct a recovery. That's why all the media recognize our capability, the leadership capability in managing this crisis. This is a good coordination from the strategic level, the national relation, a good plan in the operational level, and the commitment that shows by our team in a tactical level to ensure this mission successful.
We go over to you, Mr. Rosli. How do you feel about the recognition received?
Yeah, this is a good question. I've been waiting for so long to answer this. I can say this, it's about a team effort. It's none of us can claim this is a sole heroes for these missions. But we give our soul, we give our heart, and of course, 100% commitment in Ramadan. I can say that the mission accomplished. To be honest to you, we are still unsung heroes after 10 years. This is very sad, very, very sad that we didn't get any recognition rather than appreciation from anybody. I hope this thing will not prolong next year on the 11th anniversary of MH17. Somebody have to do something to recognize us. If you think it's necessary to recognize us, if you think that our mission is a very important mission to bring back all the bodies, black box, to the next of kins of MH17. Thank you.
For NST, we do recognize your efforts so far. All members of the Dozen Person, thank you so much again. And unfortunately, this is the end of our two-part episode. If you like this particular episode, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to also turn on the notification bell if you want any updates related to the show and NST Online. Now, I would like to thank again my guests here today, members of the Dozen Person. Thank you so much, gentlemen. As well as Ilya Masha, thank you so much for being my co-host. Right. Follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter. My name is Amalina Kamal, and I'll see you next week.